So I take it Nancy Pelosi was just too busy penciling in her fake eyebrows and putting her teeth back in, adjusting her wig to call in the National Guard January 6th? And where exactly was Nancy Pelosi January 6th? So there's an article about this at the BBC. Pelosi calls Trump domestic enemy in new January 6th footage. So we have about 50 minutes of additional footage, if not footage that contains new clips combined with some old clips that we've seen already. But this is a story by Rachel Looker, again at the BBC. And I've got some other headlines to share with you. Welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy here. It's Thursday, so happy Thursday, everybody. And if you're new to the channel, there are no fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles. It's you, me, my smartphone, the news of the day, and this mission, this crusade to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. That's what we do on the channel. So thank you again for watching, subscribing, tell your friends about the channel. I have a blast doing this channel. And I have to admit, this is a redo of a video I posted last night, because sometimes you do these videos on YouTube, and you just don't have that, that it factor, or the zest, the zing you need in your video. I'm listening to my video last night, I'm like, God, this thing is flat. Oh my God. Someone get me an antidepressant, quick. No, I don't take drugs. That's my problem. I don't do drugs. Well, I'm starting tomorrow. I don't care who knows it. Let's see, should I start with heroin, maybe some cocaine? Maybe some LSD? No, folks, I don't do any drugs. I don't advocate people doing drugs. I like my pipe, my corncob pipe, good old-fashioned American burley, my coffee, my ginger beer, and my music. Have you ever actually sat down and written a piece of music? It's a trip, man. It's a real trip. It's like getting inside a machine. So that's for another time. But that's what I do in my spare time. I write music in my spare time. Thus, this mission, crusade to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. Don't believe in taking down all these statues, etc., etc. But you can't deny that January 6th was a pivotal moment in American history. But shame on NBC. Shame on NBC News. And I'll share part of the article with you here in a moment. In their article, they quote Nancy Pelosi taking responsibility for not having enough security January 6th. And in the very next paragraph, they say, well, she really has nothing to do with the National Guard. She doesn't know what the National Guard is. She's never seen a National Guard person. She can't tell you where the National Guard's located. Because she was just too busy penciling in her eyebrows and putting her teeth back in and adjusting her wig. And she's Nancy Pelosi. She can't stand Trump. They're attacking. Oh my God, they're attacking our shrine to democracy, the Capitol. What do I do? What do I do? Who do I call? I know I called somebody. I just don't know who it was, but I called somebody. Maybe it was my husband. Maybe it was Hammer Boy. Yes, it was Hammer Boy. Really, Nancy? So it says here, in the hours after Donald Trump supporters breached the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, again at the BBC story by Rachel Looker. So Nancy Pelosi, in this new footage now, there's 50 minutes of new footage, and they contain some older clips that we've already seen, but it's got some additional clips in there. And Adam Kinzinger, have you seen this? Adam Kinzinger is furious the Republicans are using this to their advantage. I got a question here. Where were the Republicans during the January 6th committee? Why didn't you idiots have a counter committee? Well, we never thought about that. No, because you want to play nice, and the dirty little secret is that Republicans and Democrats are two faces of the same coin. They're both leftist parties. That's exactly what they are. As much as the Republicans try to say that they're on the right, they're really a leftist party because they're nothing more than 19th century progressives. That's what the Republicans are. And the Democrats back in the 19th century were actually the conservatives, believe it or not. So getting to the article, the footage turned over to Congress by HBO, and obtained by the BBC, shows 50 minutes, as I was saying, of Pelosi's evacuation from the Capitol and conversations with staff and Democratic colleagues in the aftermath of the riot. Now, also in these clips, she prepares for this press conference the day after the attack, and she was talking about urging the U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stevenson to resign. Whether there's a domestic enemy in the White House, let's not miss words about this. And in another clip, she said this, quote, "I just feel sick what he did to the Capitol and to the country today. He's going to pay a price for that." That's at the BBC. So here are the headlines that are out there about this. New York Times. Pelosi's car passes near a pipe bomb on January 6th, according to new video. So this is also in this new video footage. Over at the Hill, Kingsinger rips Republicans after Pelosi's January 6th video surfaces. It makes me furious. And I'll get to that article here in just a sec. Over at CNN, new video shows Pelosi calling Trump a domestic enemy after January 6th. I already shared with you the article here at the BBC. But let's go to NBC. Their title's similar here. So they quote Nancy Pelosi as saying, "Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with? They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepared for more." Oh, so she admits that she dropped the ball here. But I just don't know what the National Guard is. I've never seen a National Guard's prison. We got to get Trump. Attack on our shrine to democracy. Let me pencil in my eyebrows and adjust my wig and put my teeth back in. I just can't. Alexandra, take me home. Take me home to Hammer Boy. It's stupid that we should be in a situation like this. Really, Nancy? Well, whose fault is that, you dumbass? But in the very next paragraph, like I said, and I'm calling you out, NBC, see, I have the balls to do that here on YouTube, unlike these idiots in the runaway media. Pelosi would not have had independent authority to summon the National Guard. Well, what was her authority January 6th? And the Capitol Police Board is in charge of security for the U.S. Capitol. The head of the Capitol Police resigned shortly after the riot, as did the House Sergeant-at-Arms, and the video shows Pelosi in discussions with her staff about getting resignations from both officials. Well, wait a minute. You just said in this previous paragraph, you quoted Nancy Pelosi. I'll read it again. "Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with? They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepared for more." So which is it, NBC? Sounds to me like you're trying to cover your ass and Nancy Pelosi's ass and these DC elites' ass because you got to get Trump. And I didn't vote for Trump, but this is total BS and you know it. Come on now. Why don't you people have the balls to come out and say, you know, we really hate Trump and it was all a ruse January 6th to get Trump? And over at CBS, they're claiming that Trump waited 3 hours. 3 hours. To tell these people to go home. 3 hours. To tell people to be peaceful. That's not true, CBS. Because you need to go back and look at the clip. The clip that conveniently the January 6th committee edited where Trump said, "Now let's peacefully and patriotically march to the Capitol to make our voices heard," or patriotically and peacefully, however he said peacefully and patriotically in that clip. So why did you edit that, January 6th committee? Adam Kingsinger. Somebody please get Adam Kingsinger on my show. Quick. So no, Trump did not wait 3 hours to tell these people to simmer down. He was at the ellipse speaking when this supposed attack on the Capitol happened. It was an attack. You had a whole bunch of goons who got out of hand, and you didn't have enough security to handle the crowd. That's what happened. You guys don't want to admit to it. So I'm going to call your ass out on it. How do you like that? So, I'm in a good mood today. What's the old saying? Today I'm either kicking butt or I'm handing out lollipops and I'm all out of lollipops. So in response to all this, as I said, Adam Kingsinger, he's furious according to The Hill. Quote, "She was reacting how we all did, and it just kind of takes me back and it makes me furious that my party decided to memory hole the whole day. It's been played on a loop for the past 3 years. Who's memory holding anything, Adam Kingsinger?" He goes on to say the focus of all of Congress on that day was getting justice for what happened. getting justice for what was happened. For what was happened, there you go. Getting justice for what was happened. You see, because what happened was, pardon me, I'm having a good time, folks. What happened was that you had a whole bunch of insurrectionists, these Trump supporters that invaded the Capitol. Well, if that's the case, what were the police doing? What was security doing? Nobody's answering these questions. And shame on you Republicans again for not having a counter committee during these January 6 hearings. Don't make me come through this camera and knock some heads together, because I will. I'm just figuratively speaking here, okay? Okay, so that's the video for today. Thought I'd share this with you. That's what is out there. Nancy Pelosi, in this new footage, apparently 50 new minutes of footage according to the BBC, calls Trump a domestic enemy, public enemy number one. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can follow me at Instagram, hashtag Jason Composes, because I write music in my spare time. Or you can go to X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed 1 on X. Now you can find me at Substack. In fact, I think I'm going to do an article about this at Substack tonight. I'm so riled up. Actually, like I said, I'm in a good mood. But this just blows my mind. NBC is going to quote Nancy Pelosi as taking responsibility for this, for dropping the ball. And in the very next paragraph, they say, well, she has nothing to do with the National Guard. She really has no connection to the National Guard. Doesn't know what the National Guard is. Really now, NBC? Who do you think you're fooling? So you all have a great Thursday. I'll catch you next time. Take care.